So now I'm going to analyze 3 different gambling adverts. So let's start with this one with David Hasselhoff. The first thing to notice, what they're going to emphasize about their online casino, which is what this is, they're going to emphasize, first of all, fun. The casino adverts are always about fun, about having a great time, flashy colors. And the adverts are always like not very serious. They always have often have like a sarcastic, like lack of seriousness about them. Let's look at this one.
Welcome to Wheels. Fantastic. Wheels keep spinning. Wheels Casino.
The other thing you'll see in these gambling adverts is that for some reason, the main character is often wearing like business successful clothes. It's usually a suit like this, like the one that David Hasselhoff is wearing. And they often show like a very upper class, lavish, luxurious lifestyle. Here we can see Hasselhoff riding an open top car with his dog, wearing a suit. And everybody knows David Hasselhoff is a famous actor who has lots of money. So we already associate him with wealth. It's good to have a bit of humor in the advert to add to the fun. And we can see with these gambling adverts, you can always see coins flying up into the air, as if there's just money raining down on anybody who uses this app. Just money pouring down. Like there's just so much money to go around. And then if you're not on this app, you're really missing out, because you're missing out on all this money that's just falling from the sky. But of course, that's not the reality of gambling. Most people, when they are gambling, they end up losing, and some end up really addicted and end up losing everything in their lives and end up in debt. Obviously, the advert is not going to emphasize that very real part of gambling. As you can see, this casino also gives a sign-up bonus, which is what most of them do. The reason they always offer these sign-up or starting bonuses is because they know every new user that they hook in, let's say they give away $50 to every new user who comes. But the thing is, each new user is potentially worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars or pounds, especially the addicts. In the gambling industry, they call these people whales. The whales are the ones who keep gambling and put so much money in. As a gambling business, you can earn, say, $50,000 from one single customer. So what they're looking for is these big whales who become addicted. In fact, that's where most of their profits come from, are the addicts. Let's look at the next advert. This one is different. So this is a sports betting advert. This is going to be slightly different because the target audience is different. So the target audience for sports betting is young men between the ages of 18 to 30, whereas the casinos is a little bit more mixed between the genders. You get men and women kind of playing slots and things like that. With sports betting ads, you usually get an appeal to sort of masculinity and toughness, and this makes you a strong man if you gamble, right?
You can find us in every corner of the world, watching, listening, analysing. We are everywhere, and we see everything. We are members of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and we gamble responsibly at Bet365.
As we can see, he's wearing the suit like the previous advert. They always wear these suits in these adverts. This advert makes it seem like you're in some kind of special club if you're a gambler. So you're in a special secret, like hidden bro club or something. And we have people all over the world in different locations. We have this great shot of this guy on the rooftop in some European city. And he's just had a bet come through on his phone. The implication of this is that he actually got this kind of lifestyle through gambling. This guy who's sitting on a rooftop in Europe, dressed well, in a fancy restaurant, that actually one of the ways he attained that lifestyle was through gambling. Like that's what smart people do. They gamble. to get that lifestyle. But the truth is, no, that is not how people end up with this kind of lifestyle. If you do want this kind of lifestyle, if you want to be sitting on rooftops of European cities, then what you need to do is you need to try and start a successful business. You need to try and get a high paying job, or even you can just get a remote job these days, and you can move to any European city you like and work remotely. And if you like, you can pay a few €100 for a nice fancy restaurant on a rooftop. But gambling is not something that gets you to this kind of lifestyle. Gambling will not make you rich. Okay, gambling is for suckers. Unless you're a professional gambler, which is a very small percentage of people. You see, we have these 4 shots of these 4 different guys. But the thing is, these are not just everyday, ordinary guys. If you actually look at their faces, do they look like average people you would see on the street? Not really. And that's because these guys are likely all actually models. They're actually all male models. You can see that they all kind of have like good bone structure to their face. They're all kind of quite handsome. And they've been chosen for that because they want to show something desirable. Their target audience is young men between the ages of 18 and 30. They want to show something desirable for these young men. Okay, they're not going to put a fat, bald old man looking directly into the camera. That's not what they're going to do, because that is not a desirable image. And they're certainly not going to show a guy who's just lost all of his money on a bet and is now miserable and has to take a taxi, has to walk home instead of taking a taxi because he can't afford it. And they're not going to show people who've had their lives ruined by gambling and having to sell the house and all that kind of that crazy stuff. The sports betting ads always try and appeal to your masculinity. But if we think about it, is there actually anything masculine or tough about betting on sports? Is that manly to place bets on sports? The advert will try and give you the impression that it is. It's something that men do. But is it? Does betting on sports make you stronger? Does it make you tougher? Not really. If you want to get stronger and more manly, you can go to the gym and lift weights. I don't see what betting has to do with being a masculine, tough guy. There is actually no link. The advert will imply this link. They give you the impression that that's the kind of thing that tough masculine guys do. They gamble on sports and they drink. Not necessarily true. Let's look at the final advert now for Mr. Green Online Casino. It's quite similar to the first advert with David Hasselhoff. It's all about fun, fun, fun. As always, as with the other 2 adverts, the main character in this is wearing a business suit, once again implying that gambling with these online casinos is going to help get you to attain this lifestyle. Or people who do live this lifestyle, gambling is something that they do, right? It's a normal thing for rich, successful people to gamble on online casinos. Whereas in fact, online casinos tend to be for the not so wealthy, because anybody who uses online casinos probably doesn't make good financial decisions. As with most gambling companies, they always offer a sign-up bonus. So you can join their gambling app or company and you get free spins or free bets or something like that. The reason they do that is because they know that offering free bets to people, free spins on the wheel, is going to end up making more money for them. Each new customer they bring in, roughly 1 or 2% of those customers, something like that, let's say generally 1 or 2%, are going to end up addicted to their platform. They're going to become addicts. If you can just get 1% of your customers addicted to your platform, that is a lot of money. One single person can be worth about $40,000 to a gambling company. That's what they call whales. That's what they call them in the industry, whales. And gambling companies are always trying to hook in the whales. They want that absolute addicted sucker, basically, to come in and spend all of his money and get really hooked on it. So offering, say, a $20 or $30 free bet or free spin is totally worth it, because each new person you bring in is potentially worth lots of money down the line. And as you can see, this app has slots, slot machines. Slot machines are amazingly profitable. They have about a 5% house edge, something like that. And that is actually massive. Other games, traditional games like blackjack and roulette, they tend to have a less than 1% house edge. It's actually very small. But slot machines have a huge house edge. And secondly, they are really addictive as well. They use something called a variable ratio reward schedule, which addicts, which has been shown in studies to addict people like crazy. But that's enough, guys. Those are the adverts. Just the last note. If you do want this kind of lifestyle where you can walk around wearing suits and ties and having hot chicks by your side and having fun, sitting on rooftops and that kind of thing, gambling is going to take you further away from that lifestyle than not gambling. If you want that kind of lifestyle, you need to focus on trying to build a successful business, or offering a high-paying service, learning a skill that you can sell for a large amount of money, or getting a very high-paid job. Those are some good ways to achieve that lifestyle. Gambling is not going to get you there.